Hey Mike, how
How
are
you
you?
doing, man? What
I'm
is that,
good.
James Bond behind you?
Y'all, you know that's correct, man. I had to.
Dude, I love St. Louis, man. I love it.
Great,
I can
great.
remember hitchhiking down there from Iowa. I hitchhiked to St. Louis, before they put the 4 lanes in.
Right.
You just 2 lane roads. Oh my God, it was great.
Man, we're telling our age, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Nobody does that now.
no, no, man, no, not at all. I'm here today with host and executive producer Mike Wolfe. It's the History Channel's History's Greatest Picks with Mike Wolfe. I've got the DB5 from Goldfinger, but he talks about The Spy Who Loved Me, the Lamborghini, but I'm a DB5 fan, so I had
Hey,
to put
that's cool. You're a car enthusiast. That's
that.
awesome. I
Definitely.
know all those cars are so legendary. One of the things that I loved talking about was the first Batmobile.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
because we
Talk
did a
about
show
that.
years ago with George Barris, the guy that built it. So I was like, oh my God, this is like, sacred ground here.
Talk a little bit because you caught me off guard with the Harley Davidson. That was amazing. Talk
Harley
about it.
Davis. Oh, the strap tank.
Yes, the strap
Yeah, that
tank.
was a really rare bike. I actually was at that auction when that bike sold. My friend owned it, and so he actually upped the reserve on the bike. He's like, I don't want to sell it. I've changed my mind. I upped the reserve, and then within like 2 minutes, it had passed the reserve, and he's like, what's going on right now? It was exciting to watch that auction.
And I did not know that the Lamborghini in The Spy Who Loved Me he was right. No special effects, no animations, no AI. That was a real car. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about what I look at when I look at some of these old car scenes, in these movies, is the level of technology that was available back then. Like, how are they getting these shots? How are they telling this story visually? And so you see like photographs behind the scene of cameras strapped on it, and them cutting a hole in a wheel well, shooting a camera through it and everything, and the way they're getting the POVs and the drive-bys, you're just like, wow, this is like some sort of spaceship that I would never be able to own.
So great stuff. The one that was a little chilling is the James Dean car, the Porsche and the parts. Talk about that.
Well, a lot of people have said that that car was cursed. And there's a lot of different stories that are directly connected to that. But, people have asked me over the years, do you think that these items can hold energy? And I always say yes, but we're the ones who are giving it the energy. We give these pieces energy. And so with folklore stories and all these things that, take place around these items, then things become legendary. So I think it's us that give the pieces energy.
Pretty much the energy that they gave the Bonnie and Clyde car and the stuff inside the car. That was, oh man, come on, talk about that.
Oh my God, that was epic. Well, it was such a different time in America, the way we were entertained, what we thought was interesting. It was 1934. There were people trying to cut off Clyde's trigger finger. They were ripping hair off of them. They were trying to grab clothing, anything out of the car that they could for a souvenir. Imagine if that happened today. That would never happen today,
No, no.
But yeah, yeah. But see what I'm saying? It's like it was just a different time in America of like what we thought was connective to storytelling and what we wanted from those stories.
What was your inspiration to do this, man? Because I really enjoyed the episode I saw.
Um, you know, uh, I love storytelling. It's the oldest profession in the world. And I want to do things that tell story, that connect people to our history, America's history. Right now, we live in a country where we're very
Mhm.
divided. But when we start talking about things that connect all of us, whether it's a movie or a song or a piece of clothing or a car like we're talking about, all of these other things, all these other magnets that stick to us fall away. And so I want to be able to tell story that matters to all of us, and to, I guess, still give all these things a voice. If we don't give them a voice, then who are we as a society?
Ah, I like that. I like that a lot. Mike, I was introduced to James Bond at the age of 9 years old at a drive-in. My dad took me and my brother to the drive-in to see Goldfinger.
Oh my, what was James Bond doing at a drive-in? Was it in St. Louis?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't even
St.
imagine
Louis.
James Bond eating a hot dog.
No, no, man. That's how you saw most of your movies at the drive-in back then. And
No,
I
I
do,
went to drive-ins. I just can't imagine James Bond
yeah.
promoting his movie at a drive-in.
Yeah, that's because the theaters, they didn't have, so we went to the drive-in. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about the Thunderbird drive-in. That's how old it was. The
Oh
Thunderbird
my gosh, are
drive-in.
you kidding me? Well, listen, I love St. Louis, man. I love Soulard. I love Cherokee Street. I love the old parks that are in that city, the architecture, the history of it. It's just a beautiful city.
Then I know eventually you're going to start talking about in one of your episodes, since you love St. Louis, you're going to talk about Route 66 and how the history of St. Louis at Route 66. I know it's coming. I know it is.
Oh my God. Well, absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, Route 66 is legendary. The Lincoln Highway is legendary. I mean, Americans were traveling after the war, and they had money, and there was manufacturing, and there was joy back in the country. Here's the deal. On Route 66 and all these movies, the drive-ins, all that stuff, you know what happened? We were experiencing all these things together. We
Yeah.
were experiencing it as a country. And I would love to see that happen with this show. When families can sit down, grandparents, grandkids, and watch a show and find it fascinating, these stories. I mean, obviously, the end result, the number is the big surprise at the end,
Mhm.
but the way we tell the story throughout, it connects you to the number more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I felt that when watching your episodes. I've been speaking with Mike Wolfe. He's host and executive producer of History Channel's History's Greatest Picks with Mike Wolfe. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. And you see my history behind me. So, yeah, talking about people bringing the people together. James Bond did that. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.